So many people think, I can't change, I can't do this, I can't be successful, it's impossible. Well, you have to understand there's resources out there that make the impossible possible these days. In the jungle in the Philippines, there's a Nepenthes plant, a plant that eats rats. Just a few years ago, people thought it would be impossible for a plant to eat a rat. Yes, scientists had discovered plants that were meat-eating, but they would eat insects and spiders generally. But there in Mount Victoria in the Philippines, scientists found the largest meat-eating plant ever. What happens is the plant entices the rat with its sugary nectar. The rat comes in and slips on its waxy substance and falls into its sticky goo. And then the digestive enzymes come in and start digesting the rat while it's alive. I wouldn't want to be the rat. But notice, what they thought was impossible is possible. Think of Newton's physics that took over science when Newton discovered all those incredible discoveries that he did using mathematics and logic. After that, everybody thought the whole cosmos is just a mechanism, just a design mechanism. But then, in the 20th century, they discovered quantum theory, and we found out things that we thought were impossible are now possible. That's amazing. To be successful at anything, you need to be able to spot an opportunity, a possible breakthrough when you see one, so that wellness, wholeness, victory, and success can come in your life. Specifically, you need to identify a problem or a breach and come up with a pioneering or innovative solution. You can do that. You can advance it and you can touch others. So how do you learn to identify opportunities in business or in your career? Many think it's just inborn. No, it's not. That's not true. Others say, well, it's just a matter of past experience. That can help, but it's not just that. The key is recognizing opportunities, have an openness to it, and to be able to seize them while you advance in your life. When you see your business venture, your career, or your goals as a potential for progression, for an advancement, and for an achievement of rewards, to bring pleasure to yourself and your family and those around you and your community, this is called what I call advancement focus. Your advancement targeting, when you think about these things and you ponder them, write them down, and you go forward. I'll give you some tips on how to go forward in these areas. In contrast, if you approach your business or your success targets on not risking, on not losing things, on avoiding danger, tacitly, indirectly, you're leaning on fear and not on hope. This is prevention targeting. That's good for some things, but not in going forward with success. You need to be an opportunity spotter. And so here's some tips that you can have for your business venture or your career, your education, or your hobby, how to go forward. For each goal, make a list of ways in which you can prosper, how that will bring prosperity and success to you and your family and those around you. What you gain if you're effective in achieving that specific goal. Write it down. Secondly, imagine yourself 3 or 5 or 12 years down the road, and what type of person and what kind of activity would you like to see achieved through doing that goal? What would life be like in 3, 5, 7, or 12 years? Write that down. What are your ambitions? What are your dreams? What would you hope to achieve that can bring fulfillment and success and wholeness to you, your family, and your community? Thinking about your future is very, very important than writing it down. How do you increase confidence? Reflect on past accomplishments. Blow it up in your mind, ponder it, and blow it up more and more, and think about that. Go out to the beach, go out to the forest, go out to the mountains, go out and get alone, and think about those accomplishments you've had in the past. Ponder it, focus on it, ruminate on it, and blow it up, and get involved in it in your mind. Think about your big win or your achievement, a time where you really, really succeeded at an endeavor you went forward. You felt really pumped up about that success that you were able to achieve. Thinking about past gains with gratitude bring you towards your advancement target. Couple this with an attitude that says, you know what? I'm going to ignore the negative and I'm going to go forward. So are you advancement targeting or are you prevention focused? Are you blah and beige and bland and just kind of sitting there, sitting around? watching Roseanne reruns, if that's you, you need to get up and go forward. Successful people, they act on small improvements towards their major goals. They don't need to have the major goal immediately, but they act on small improvements towards their major goals, and they rejoice in small gains. Multimillionaire Henry Ford said this: "Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it in small pieces." Successful people, they reach their desires and their goals by making small, continuous improvements every day. And number two, they work hard. They work long hours at their goals. They're not slackers. If you tell yourself, oh, I deserve the day off. Oh, I'll just go do it the next day. Oh, I need to treat myself to some time away. If you do that, you're probably not going to be successful. You can see this at a gym. I've been going to gyms for over 30, 40 years now. And I noticed that all the people that are gym rats, we go through our time in January and the time right before summer, when all these people come and join the gym thinking they're going to get into shape. And so all of a sudden you can't get machines because there's so many people that have come in to get into shape. But we all know that all we have to do is hold out till February, hold out just a couple weeks, and all the people that signed up for the new year, all the people who signed up at the summer, they're going to fade and disappear, and all the machines and all the weight equipment will be available for us again because they don't follow through. What I found in discussing this with people is this. Here's one of the keys. They find reasons why they should avoid the gym. Now, there are flus that come, there's illnesses that occur, we know that. That's fine. But beyond that type of thing, they look for reasons why they could avoid the gym, instead of turning around and looking for reasons why you should go to the gym. That's what you do. You turn it around. And with success, you look for reasons to keep working towards your success instead of giving yourself excuses on why you shouldn't work for your goals. So don't do that. Get alone and get rid of all these distractions. Write this down and then go forward. I'll give you one example of a guy who thought outside the box, who really went forward. He developed what's called Smell Dating. It's a new dating service. It's not eHarmony. It's not Tinder. It's not Christian Mingle. But it's a new dating service based on smell. One lady who tried it said, "I tried Smell Dating and it didn't stink." Smell Dating. This is what happens. You sign up, you send in your money, and they send you a t-shirt. You wear the t-shirt for 3 days without deodorant and without perfume or cologne. Then you send it back. And then they match your t-shirt on the basis of smell. And so you send it without perfume, without deodorant, send it back. And then there's a lot of science behind this. The sweaty t-shirt experiment showed that a sense of smell may have a lot to do with our mate choice. Females sniffing t-shirts recently worn by males favored the scent of those whose immune response genes were different than their own. So their immune system was matched, compatible with those that they liked the smell of. So they were told to write if it smelled good, if it smelled pleasant, or it was bad. And when they found the ones that smelled good, almost always it matched up with gene expression that would put them together and would be a good match for their kids genetically. So that's interesting. Subtle chemical signals, pheromones, have long been known to draw pairs together in animals. In mice, for example, experiments showed that pheromones acted as such things to attract males and females together who were genetically similar, except they had a different type of immune system gene, and so they were able to unite and have really healthy children or offspring. The difference made a tremendous survival benefit for the mice, and we see this also with men and women. The sweaty t-shirt experiment set up to test women. They gave volunteers, 49 women, the t-shirts of 44 men, and the men had to wear the t-shirt for 3 days without perfume, cologne, or deodorant. And in the laboratory, the researchers put the t-shirt in a box and equipped it with a smelling hole and invited the women volunteers to come in and smell and sniff the boxes. Their task was to sample the odor of the 7 boxes and describe each odor as to the intensity, how pleasant, how attractive it was. The results were very striking. Overall, the women preferred the scents of the t-shirts worn by men whose MHC genes were different than their own. In other words, very compatible. which is why so many people say, well, I don't know why we're together, it's just chemistry. Well, there's a truth to that. And so they would get together and they'd have healthier children than if they selected other people, all based on the scent of smell. That's really interesting. So this guy thought outside the box and invents this dating service and gets very, very successful. So you need to find a need and make a unique niche to meet that need, so that you make yourself away from all the other competitors. You don't want to compete with everybody else, but you want to have your own niche. That's very, very important. The founder of Barnum and Bailey Circus, P.T. Barnum, was a millionaire, very, very successful. But his first big ticket item was, his first popular attraction was, I quote, a 6-foot-tall man-eating chicken. That's what drew all the people in, helped make him all the money to start off his millionaire venture. 6-foot-tall man-eating chicken. And you go in and you see a man 6 feet tall and he's eating chicken. Barnum didn't lie, but he got great success by thinking outside the box, thinking outside the norm. Now, you don't want to scam people, obviously, but you do want to think different than everybody else. You want to get a niche like that guy did with the body odor dating service. Imagine that. Barnum, for years and years, was mocked behind his back. Mocked and mocked and mocked behind his back because he had an island, Ivy Island, that was given to him by his grandfather at his birth. But everybody knew that Ivy Island was worthless. It was just a swamp loaded with poison ivy. But he didn't know that. All of his relatives acted like Ivy Island was worth a lot of money, but behind his back, they mocked him. At 10, he went to see what he thought was a great real estate prize in Ivy Island. There he found out it was all swamp and poison ivy, worthless. He discovered what everybody else knew, and that laughed behind his back for years and years, that his Ivy Island was not worth anything whatsoever. But catch this. Decades later, Barnum is starting out his circus profession, starting out towards his millions, and he wants to buy a museum in New York. He puts down an offer. The offer is turned down. And so he says, okay, I'll give you my deed to Ivy Island. And the bank took the deed, sight unseen, and gave him the loan. He bought the museum and started his way towards millions. What everybody else thought was worthless, a troubling gift, worthless property, Barnum used to begin his fame and his fortune and earn his millions. Again, we don't want to seek to scam people, but don't give up hope. Don't think what you have is worthless. Don't think that the gifts that you've been given are not worth anything. What you have is what you need. And there's resources available on the internet today that were never available 15, 20 years ago and back. There's great opportunity. And last thing I will say is, when you research it, when you write down your goals, when you thought it through and you want to go forward, you developed your niche and you're seeing a need, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. Just, take no prisoners and go for it. In 1519, in the spring, the famous explorer and conquistador Hernando Cortez had secured 11 ships and 700 men from Spain. He's commanding this impressive armada, and he set sail to the New World. His transatlantic voyage took him several months, and Cortez landed in Veracruz. The first thing that he did was plant Spain's flag. And the second thing that Cortez did, he performed one of history's most dramatic acts that would shock his men. Before their very eyes, Cortez ordered all the ships to be burned, set afire, and destroyed. The message was clear. There was no turning back. They were all in. There's no way going back. They had to go forward. And that's what I would encourage you, to go forward. Don't limit yourself, just go forward. This is Mike Robinson. Till next time, saying may God bless you.
Hey guys, you can really help us if you donate to our worldwide media outreach. Just go to our Patreon page at Mike Robinson Apologetics on Patreon, or click the donate button on our main page on YouTube and give as the Lord leads. Thank you so much.